According to the New York Times, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution will stop printing newspapers at the end of the year, ending a tradition that dates back to 1868. Publisher Andrew Morris said the decision was about survival. Printing newspapers and putting them in trucks and delivering them on people's front stoops has not been the most effective way to distribute the news in a very long time. The Journal-Constitution is one of the largest dailies yet to abandon print completely. About a third of America's remaining 1,000 daily newspapers still print 7 days a week, but circulation has collapsed. At its peak in 2004, the AJC's, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution Sunday edition, reached 630,000 readers. Today, you want to take a stab at how many? Today, the print run is closer to 40,000. Cox Enterprises has invested $150 million into the digital transformation, hiring video teams and expanding coverage across Georgia. Morris said he hopes to reach 500,000 digital subscribers by 2026, though current totals are just 115,000. It's going to be a lot of change, he said. I love print, but I love journalism more. Okay, here's the real message here. Print newspapers, in case you hadn't been paying attention for the last 10 years, are going the way of the dodo bird. They're not going to be around much longer. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution just announced they're ending it. My only question is, what took you so long? I loved newspapers my whole life. I love the touch and feel of them, but I haven't even picked up or bought a newspaper in 10 years. If you make your living printing newspapers, delivering newspapers, driving trucks of newspapers, you're going to have to wake up and start looking for another job right now. Okay, let's dig a little deeper here. I like what the publisher did say, that, I like print, but I like journalism more. Journalism is about the act of asking questions, telling stories to people about what is happening in the world to them now. Print is just one way of doing that. It used to be scrolls. It used to be clay tablets where you're hammering it out. I don't think anyone is really mourning the idea that we don't have to chisel tablets, stone tablets, or clay tablets anymore. I don't see that many people upset by the fact that we don't have to, find a feather and ink and dip it into the inkwell. So the technology of how you communicate ideas is always changing. A newspaper, the actual paper part, is just one technology. Technologies come and go. Blogging was a really big thing 20 years ago, 18 years ago. Most people don't really blog now, but they do have newsletters on Substack. There's always some new technology. And these days, of course, the most powerful way, what I'm excited about, what I'm doing right now, is doing a video and audio podcast. If you want to call it a podcast, you want to call it a YouTube show. Right now, I'm coming to you live on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, and a whole bunch of other platforms. And coming next Tuesday, which is not that far off, September 2nd, this show is going to be on every major podcast platform, audio as well as video. That is the new technology. Who knows? Maybe 10 years from now, no one will be doing it this way. Maybe you'll have journalists and creative news analysts and other people just sitting in the room thinking, and they're able to automatically, telepathically send their thoughts directly to their fans and don't even need the internet or YouTube or Spotify. I don't know. The one thing I do know is technology is going to continue to change and evolve, but what stays the same is individuals want to know what's going on in the world. They want news. They want information. So that stays the same. And people who are going to be successful and savvy are always going to be looking for what is the technology people are using right now. Now, you can make the case that I was slow to the game with this podcasting thing. Although I did do a daily podcast 10 years ago for an entire year and just did not figure out how to make it resonate with the audience. But it's not too late to start an audio podcast or a video podcast or both. It's not too late to start a newsletter. People are doing it every day on Substack. It's not too late to communicate news, information, stories, and entertainment to people in the world and extract value. But you've got to do really two things. You've got to figure out what is the best medium today for reaching the people I want to reach, And what is going to be the best way tomorrow? Where are people headed? Maybe it's not taken off yet, but where are people headed? That's why I spend a lot of time on my AI video interactive clone. It's not that popular yet, but I do think that as people become more and more comfortable using artificial intelligence and chatbots and OpenAI and Grok and Claude and all the others, they are going to get more comfortable talking with AI clones, especially in a video format. So if you haven't checked out tjwalker.ai, you may want to do that. But will the Atlanta Journal-Constitution be around in 5 or 10 years? I don't know. I certainly think the New York Times will, because we live in a society and an economy and a wired economy where there's kind of a winner-take-all mentality. And the big superstars increasingly are getting higher percentages of the spoils. We're seeing this everywhere in the economy. The top 1% and the top 0.1% are increasingly getting a bigger piece of the economic pie. The New York Times is increasingly getting a bigger percentage of the news consuming public. I actually pay for a subscription to the New York Times. I'll occasionally go to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, their website, but I'm not a regular. And we are living in a world where news has become nationalized and internationalized, so the biggest brands do well. I hope the Atlanta Journal-Constitution can survive. I'm sure their strategy is, let's cut cost on old-fashioned ways like newspaper and printing presses and trucks and paper boys and paper girls. And instead, what they're probably doing is investing more and more in more podcasting, because that's become extraordinarily lucrative for not only the New York Times, but a lot of traditional media and upstarts as well, where people don't have all those legacy costs involved that traditional media companies do. Because the Atlanta Journal-Constitution is like a lot of newspapers. It was a pretty easy, cushy business for a long time. For so many years, for a good 100 years for them, you could kind of sit back, do interesting stories, and you had a monopoly. Anyone who wanted to place a want ad, a job ad, a classified ad, had to give you money. Craigslist ruined all that. So it's not coming back. The want ads, the easy revenue coming from monopoly status is not coming back anytime soon.